This situation is not about race. Even at the time, at the height of the civil rights movement, when black people were actually being lynched, it was approximately 3,500 black people that were lynched from the entire period of 1882 all the way up until 1968. All right, so that's actually, even at the time, at the height of the civil rights movement, when black people were actually being lynched, it was approximately 3,500 black people that were lynched from the entire period of 1882 all the way up until 1968. All right, so that's actually a very low number relative. Not saying that lynching is okay, obviously, but
that 3,500 lynchings in just short of 100 years is a low number. Boy, when you are trying to be white supremacy's talking mule, mammy, you will say anything. So let's say what she's saying is true. 3,500, even though it's not, it was really 4,000. But let's say what she's saying is true. 3,500 in just short, in what, 14 years short of 100 years? That is a low number. And mind you, when we was in slavery, we wasn't getting lynched like that because we were property. We were more valuable as property than we was as so-called freedmen and women. You know, when you yeah, you could hurt a slave, yeah, you could torture one, yeah, you could SA one, but unaliving one, now you might have to come out of your pocket because you pay insurance on your slaves. So now you might have to come out of your pocket for unaliving your slave. So when we became free men, we became less valuable to hell. Now we're your competition now. And you already hate us. And now we're your competition. We was your slave. Now we're your competition. You know? Now we got a shoe shop. Well, now we got a blacksmith shop. Right? So, okay. Let's just lynch them. Or let's find some crazy laws. Black code laws. Put them in jail for some stupid black hole laws just for being black, basically. And then go lynch them. Competition over with. Or black man over with. Whatever. For whatever reason. And, you know, for her to say that, it's just disgusting. It's disgusting. And I've been reading online. I see a lot of you brothers and sisters trying to invite her back to the barbecue because she got fired from Daily Wire. You know, white supremacy always disposes of their tools. And Daily Wire used her up. Her and Ben Shapiro was all hacking it up a couple years ago. Now they beefing. Her and Donald Trump. She used to support Donald Trump. Nah, they beefing. So that should show. And now she asking, and now she like, hey y'all, hey big head. Now she giving us the hey big head text. Asking us what we doing. No, stay over there. Stay over there with Daily Wire, Trump, and your husband. Stay over there. We don't want you back. After you can say some foul stuff like this, oh, we got to give you your biscuits. We got to give you your biscuits. If you could say something this disgusting. And you got so much more stuff that you have said. It's just not even, it's not even funny, man. Like, this is what we call dangerous. This is dangerous. I know, it's freedom of speech. She got the freedom of speech to say these words and feel how she feel, and I got the freedom of speech to call her out on it. You know, wonderful America. I appreciate the privilege I have in America to call out this buffoonery. And look at this picture of these people standing around right here. A lot of our ancestors, this is what they saw. It's the last thing they seen before they got strung up on that tree with that rope. Just I want y'all to just kind of think about that for 1 second, like a moment of silence to try to get in their shoes for a second of this being the last thing that they seen. And you know, just to keep it light, it's kind of like when you far as the number 4,000, that's even questionable, because it's kind of like you ask a girl how many bodies do she got, and she tell you 5, and you gotta really divide that by 3 and carry the 1. You feel me? So when they say 4,000, um, we know there's more than 4,000. We know that's just the feasible number that they was willing to put up there and say, okay, yeah, it was 4,000, but we know it was probably more close to 6 or 7 or more. You know, our people didn't have no value at that point because a lot of them was still fighting to keep things the same way. South and North. Don't get confused about that, but I'll save that for another video. Yeah, it's your boy Furious, aka POW, Prisoner of War. Um, this is DB4B, Death Before Bondage, Black Masterminds. Wear many hats, but never the cap. The real gon' feels and the fake gon' hate. Holla back.
Real truth of the reason why people hate the Queen has nothing to do with the colonization. It has something to do, which, by the way, just to be clear, the Brits invading Africa actually represents, and this is going to get me in trouble, but it was, if you look at how forward it brought the African colonies, it ended up being a net positive. Now, this is, of course, it's going to get me in trouble because people somehow think that Africans were living happily ever after and things were great, and then horrible English, British descended upon and murdered everybody, and the French suddenly murdered everybody, and that just isn't the truth. Obviously, the African nations had slavery, just like the European nations had slavery. So it's an evil that was not started, did not begin in Europe, actually. It can actually be traced back to Muslim origin. One thing I always say, Tucker, is that the left can pull a racist narrative from thin air where it doesn't exist, but when it actually is in their face, they try to avoid it at all costs, especially when the perpetrator is a black person against another white person, which obviously happens more often in this country, given the fact that black Americans are the most murderous group in America by rate. Obviously happens more often in this country, given the fact that black Americans are the most murderous group in America by rate. Obviously happens more often in this country, given the fact that black Americans are the most murderous group in America by rate.